I wish I could tell him, you don't have an idea of how much I don't want to give my American passport to get a Saudi passport.
Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Podcast So, where we bring a lot of significant guests and also distinguished individuals who are living here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our guest today is Mohammed Flood. Mohammed, welcome to Podcast So. It's such an honor to have you with us, my friend.
Hey, Waleed, thank you for having me, man.
Most welcome, most welcome. There's so much to talk about.
Indeed, there is.
By the way, I'm a fan. I follow you.
Appreciate that.
I follow you
man.
on Snapchat, on TikTok. You know, you got a lot of creative content, man. So tell us about that. How did that all begin, first of all?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me as the first guest on the new podcast. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
See, thing with media and social media in particular, it all started back when I was in college. You know, I studied corporate finance. Odd, right? But at the same time, I always had an eye for just making something out of nothing, right? So I was into cars from a younger age. I couldn't afford them. So I was the kid walking in the mall, would see like a Corvette or something. I was like, wow, that's a GTR. And when it came to social media, it was something that you could actually learn, create, implement, and then learn, and then post, and then you see the results out of. So it was a pretty cool journey, for the past 8-9 years.
Awesome, man. You do a great job at it.
Appreciate it.
I watch whenever I can. Your Snapchat, your TikTok. I'm also a big fan of your father, by the way.
Appreciate that, man. Shout out, Dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would love to have him also as a guest one day. Why,
Inshallah, why not?
That'd be great, inshallah. So, Mohammed, mashallah, when I first watched you, to be honest, I think I saw you was like a couple of years ago. I was like, this guy's, and then I saw your Arabic. This guy speaks super fluent Arabic.
Right.
And, I've seen you on such different platforms also. So tell us about your story. Tell us about the whole story. How did this all begin?
All right. Well, gosh, where to begin?
Yeah.
So if you're asking about the language part, how do people learn languages? Either they learn from a younger age, which is how I learned it, or they have the desire or passion of learning languages. So for me, I was born here. I grew up here. I went to public and private schools.
You were born here in the kingdom.
Yeah, I was
Which
born
city?
in Jubail.
In Jubail.
Jubail Sanaiya. And I went to public and private schools, and that's kind of it. That's how I picked up, the Arabic language and, kind of mastered the dialects.
Yeah. So you were born here in the kingdom.
Right.
And you went back to the States, you came back, and that was approximately, when was it? In, 2000?
So I grew up here. I stayed here until the age of 17. Did all my schooling, elementary, middle school, high school. And then my parents gave me the option of, hey, so, parents are really protective, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, let's put you in like a Muslim country. Let's try to give you the experience of traveling abroad, because we used to do that a lot, But at the same time, we don't want you to go to America. And my question as a teenager,
so
why?
You finished high school, your parents were like, no, don't go to the States, we want you to go to a Muslim country.
They kind of had that fear of, I had like an Islamic upbringing, I know Arabic, maybe I will have like a culture shock. But to me, I was like, culture shock? We're American at home. And, you have that desire as a kid because, America and what it stands for. So everybody's like, America. So as an American, you're always like, I'm an American, but I don't know much about America. So I want to go experience this American lifestyle, right?
Interesting.
Right.
Wow.
So I went to Malaysia.
You ended
My first
surprised.
year,
I went to Malaysia.
nice
Yeah.
country, beautiful people,
Yeah.
great experiences, but I couldn't fit in, right? It's just not me, right? I was always like the white kid among all the people over there, and I didn't feel myself, right? So went back home, dad, mom, I want to go to America.
Yeah.
And the problem was my dad had a rule, right? We would go 1 year to the States from when we were young, and 1 year we will actually travel within Saudi Arabia. And going to the States back and forth and experiencing Saudi, it was like, I'm ready. Like, I can do this American school thing, right? And I ended up going there, you know, in the early 2011 or so. And I stayed there until 2020.
Wow. And then you came back 2020.
Right. So my dad and my mom, they had this rule at the house, right?
Yeah.
So we would go 1 year to the States, and we would actually travel within Saudi Arabia. So I used to always tell like my Saudi friends, like, I know Saudi more than you do, because we literally went to every city and village in Saudi Arabia, alhamdulillah. And, you know, I came back, you know, continuing what we were talking about, I came back and told my parents, like, I just want to go to America. They were like, fine, you know, because my parents were always the supporting kind of parents. And they were like, okay, well, if this is what you want, we support you. And then the journey kind of, you know, went from there.
Interesting. So, you know, to me, this is actually very interesting, to be honest, right?
Right.
Like, so, an American living here in the kingdom, right? And he's like, I want to go see America, see what America's all about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I hear about it, you know.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, it's the other way around, right? You know what I mean? It's the, you know what I mean? So, after you go there, what happened?
So before I actually went there, you know how parents have the talk,
Yeah.
right? So I'm excited, I'm hyped up. I just want to go to the States. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sleep in a room with my brothers anymore. And I'm a man, right? I'm a man. So at the airport, I'm pumped up. My dad literally just had my hand. He grabbed my hand, and he's like, he said some words that didn't make sense in the beginning, but it made sense later, and I'll tell you why. He grabbed my hand and he said, Muhammad, you're going to a place that it's not foreign to you by passport. However, remember that I have left everything in my life. I've left my family, I've left my country, and I have left everything behind me to raise kids in this country so they are blessed with the right religion, Islam, and to know the right language, the Arabic language. You're going to a country that you don't even know their national anthem. You know, Sari'i lil Majdi wal Aliya. You don't even know. Oh, say, can we say, or whatever the national anthem is. No offense to anybody, but I'm just stressing the facts. So, to me, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
I was just, man, my dad's saying whatever. I'm going to the States.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. And that's when the journey actually started, right? Yeah.
So, was it like a culture shock?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Because, you know, growing up as kids, we had, you know, we were on TV all the time, NBC2, shout out to NBC2. And then we were really like the type of kids that we would ask my parents a lot of questions. So, like, Dad, we went to Jersey last year, right, for vacation. We went to Vegas. We went to Florida. We went to Texas. So why do they do this? Why do they do that? From asking so much down the years, by the time we went to the States, like, okay, so now what? There isn't a culture shock, but there's more of understanding the people of the state that you're in. Because, you know, different states in America, people have different backgrounds, different cultures, different foods. So to me, that was the new thing, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't much of a culture shock, but it was more of experiencing my new town or my new city. Yeah.
That's pretty odd. You know what I mean? It's actually, as you said it, it's the other way around. So you come back, you know, you stay there for around 7, 6 years, and then you come back to live back here in the kingdom in 2020.
Right.
Yeah. Tell us about that part too. That is an awesome part.
So, going to the States, everybody thought I was like a mubtath, you know?
And
I
it was in
like,
2011. It was dealing with a lot of Saudi students
right,
joining the scholarships.
And also, before the journey of me coming back to Saudi, like in college, you know, or at work, people be like, so what's your name?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, my name is Mohammed or Muhammad. They're like, oh, okay. So where are you from? I'm like, I'm from here. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, bro, my name is Mohammed Donald Wade Flood. They're like,
And
oh,
that
but
was in the States.
yeah. And they're like, oh, so what's the Muhammad? So I'm like, oh, I'm Muslim. Oh, okay, we get it, you know? And to me, I was like, wait a second, like why this is odd to them, right? And living life in the States was interesting, but you know, after a couple of years, you know, I'm the oldest among my brothers, 4 brothers. May Allah bless them all.
Yeah.
Please finish school and come back. You're taking too long. My mom was always like, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? You know how moms are, right?
Yeah.
And to me, 2015, 16, 17, like, Mom, I'm having fun. You want me to come back and do what? You know, like, I'm fine. And then it kind of hit me what my dad said at the airport.
Yeah.
These words kept like touching me. Why am I remembering these words now? Why is what my mom is saying makes more sense? I started getting a little bit more emotional, you know? And it got to the point where I'm hating where I'm living.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable. I feel like I just need a reason to leave. So one day, I was like, you know what? Everybody's talking about Riyadh. And like, for God's sake, I'm even tearing up a little bit. And it was like, I was like, you know what? Let me go to Riyadh. I lived most of my life in Medina.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, best years of my life. May Allah give me a long life to live there.
Yeah.
And, you know, me and my family. But
Inshallah.
I was like, yeah, Medina's nice. It's cool. I grew up there. But I'm at the business mindset now. I need to make money.
Yeah.
I need to be creative. I'm in social media. I have my own business. I have my college degree. I need a place.
At that specific time, you can obviously, of course, see the difference between 20 years when you grew up from, you left 2011, and then 2020. You know, you were seeing the diversity, the Vision 2030. You were seeing all of that.
True.
What were you thinking?
But here's the thing. To me, I always knew from a young age that one day Saudi Arabia is going to be like this big hot place that everybody wants to come.
Yeah.
Right? It's divine design, as they say. You know, with the vision, you know, a lot of people mention it. They talk about it, but they don't understand it. They've never read it. They don't know what the vision means. They just think the vision is the mega projects and, you know, the events. The vision.
And that's in the States.
No, I'm talking in general.
In general.
Like
okay.
even people here.
Yeah.
Right? But when you actually understand it from different backgrounds of life and break it down to pieces, you're dumb if you don't believe in the 2030 vision. I'm sorry, but whoever you are listening to this, if you don't understand how long did the 2030 vision start?
It's 2016.
2016, even before that.
Yeah,
how long did
2016.
it take for the people in charge to say that we have something called 2030? You think 2, 3, 5 years? This thing's been cooking for the past 15 years. So since I was a kid. So the 2030 vision is not something new. I believe we'll have 2040 vision, 2050 vision. And if you're going to be around for it, good for you. You don't want to be on board. Sorry, but you're missing out.
Yeah.
So when I came and I picked Riyadh because Riyadh was like, you know, like the New York of business, right? It's where my media aspects will be met, where business is met, where I will meet new people. It was just like, you know what? This is the right spot.
Yeah.
However, I wasn't sure. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try, and I came to Riyadh.
Yeah, yeah. So you came to Riyadh, you know, obviously was, you know, a change, right? So you're like, you know what, I'm simply going to come here. You know what, as you said, this is where all of, you know, everything's going on, business. It's the hub now. It's the place to be. You know, and at that time, there's a lot of things going on also, whether it was in the media, you know, regarding the kingdom, etc. But you lived here, right? Before I ask you about after you came here, what happened, you know, what kind of questions were you getting from, you know,
people back home?
Exactly, friends or colleagues.
See, there's two types of people in this world.
Yeah.
There's people that are educated in any type of knowledge or education.
Yeah.
And there's people that I wouldn't call them uneducated. I just would say they don't have the knowledge needed to answer their questions, right? And a lot of people in any place in the world, not even in the States, ask questions that don't know the answers of. So when they ask someone that they see is more Saudi than American, but yet speaks their language, English, and I seem and sound American, they kind of trust what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, so they're like, oh, so what's Saudi all about? I'm not telling them what it's about. I'm always like, come and see for yourself. You know, oh, but in the media it says this and that. I'm like, well, on the American media it says this and that. Like, are you the type of person that believes this stuff? Or like, come on. So usually I always answered questions with questions, right? Because who am I trying to, you know, convey here, you know? So if someone is really interested, I've had like more than, you know, 6, 7 people from the States visit me in Riyadh.
Wow.
For these reasons. Oh, but, you know, this and that business, come and see. These people became investors. These people are living here now. So if you're serious about something, do the research. Read about it.
Exactly.
Educate yourself. Don't be like one of those people just, oh, I heard it from here and this is it, you know? So, yeah.
So, yeah. So, you came back here 2020. Life is good. You know, things are going on. Life is amazing. Yeah.
New start.
What happened then?
Oh, I've never talked about this.
Yeah.
I've never, ever. And
exclusive.
Let's get that. I've never talked about this. And I don't even know why I'm trying to say it right now. I guess feel comfortable. So I came and I was so pumped up. Sold everything in the States. My parents are happy. I'm closer to home. And, you know, shout out to my friend Talal Zahrani. You know, he hosted me. He was one of my friends back in the States. And we were just having fun. I'm new to Riyadh. I've been before, but as a kid. So I was like, let's go places. So he told me there's this big event in Ula. Let's go check it out, you know. So we drove to Ula. And then from Ula, we drove to Hayal.
Yeah.
And then from Hayal, we drove back to Riyadh. The Riyadh season was there. I think it was the first or the second edition in 2020.
Yeah.
And I was having fun.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the news about COVID started happening and all of that. And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
COVID who?
Yeah.
You know, and then, you guys know what happened during that time.
Obviously,
Yeah.
What are the differences that you saw when you came back? Right? Like, what did you feel? Like, was it like the energy, the vibe? Obviously, of course, you've been hearing and seeing, talking to your parents, your friends, family here. But when you touched down to Riyadh, when you went to Al-Ula, when you went to Riyadh season, like, oh my God, I mean, as you said, you always knew that there would be something, but when you saw this, how do you feel and how do you react, let me say, to it?
I feel like we're at a point now where it's just, see, like back in the day, there's certain things that you could do. Now there's so much to do, in my opinion, that I don't even want to do anything. It's crazy. But I'm so glad that there's a big variety of things, and you know what touches me?
Yeah.
Like, let's just cut the like the political talk. You know what touches me? I look at this place like my home.
Yeah.
Like, literally, may Allah give us all long lives.
Amen.
I want to die here. This is where I feel like uh, just suits me and my family best. So seeing this place that is my home growing, and seeing how the whole world is talking about it, and seeing how every single day I have to take a different route to work because there's construction. I love it because I know there's things happening.
Yeah.
There's things that are being built. There's things that are, this feeling, it gives me goosebumps. And I feel like a lot of people and a lot of foreigners don't get it. It's because, they work here for a couple of years and then they want to go back home, or even, Westerners, they want to go back to their country, retire. And literally all I think of, how can I make so much money so I can retire myself and my family here so we could never, ever go back? This is how serious it is for me. It's not a joke, and sometimes words can't describe what is in my mind, but this is home. This is literally home.
It's awesome, man. And it is home, and we're very happy that you're here.
Appreciate it.
And inshallah, we live a long, healthy life together
Inshallah.
here
All
together.
of us, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, let me go back also, Mohammed. I mean, I saw your, I can actually feel your attachment, right, and your energy here to the kingdom. Maybe 20 years, mashallah, you speak fluent Arabic.
Yes, sir.
My colleague was saying he speaks Arabic better than me, and I could agree with that. To be honest, you got great accent, speak Arabic. You got a lot of communities of different types of people here in the kingdom. So I can really feel the energy. I can feel the great relationship between you here and the kingdom, and what is like, and also your parents, like how your dad also is very much attached to Al Medina. And there was an interesting story that we spoke about before we recorded this. Speaking about your dad, so saying that he wants to, after inshallah a long healthy life.
About that. See, my parents, both of them, as I mentioned before, left everything in life.
Yeah.
They left the money. They left, we come from a really good family back home. Financially, everything.
And they decided, so when did your parents come here to the kingdom?
So my dad has been here, I think my dad, I don't have the exact date, but he was here sometimes in the 80s.
In the 80s, okay.
Yeah, and then he went, and then he came back in the early 90s. And after my dad became a Muslim, everything changed. Everything. And it got to the point where we don't even have a home in the States. We don't even have, I don't even talk about family business, but, there's no reason for us to go back home, right? And it's not about the money. It's not about, quality of life. It's not all about that. It's more about, when let's break it down as simple as this.
Yeah.
When you have like a farm and you're trying to protect it from everyone, you're working really hard.
Yeah.
You're growing, your crops, you're growing, and you don't want anything to ruin anything. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
For the past 30 plus years, my dad has built this farm for his kids to learn Arabic, to learn the language, to learn, the habits and the culture and everything, to the point where they didn't learn it.
Yeah.
Because their environment is all westernized.
Yeah.
But in this farm, there's everything that we needed as kids. Like literally, they have done everything. Everything. And I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I know I haven't given them everything they want. They're still like, when are you going to get married? But I try. And to me, I have to give them something back, and it's really, to me, it's really important. Like Saudi, when people talk about Saudi, I don't care who they are. It's not a joke to me, bro. It's not like.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
appreciate that a lot. And, you know, man, your parents, you know, hats off to them, man. They are great people, you know.
They made me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the days. Like, let's talk about some funny stories.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day. Sorry, Dad, we're going to talk about this. My dad used to pull me out of school
Yeah.
to get certain things done.
Yeah.
Right? You know, in Medina back in the early 2000s,
yes,
people didn't speak much English, right?
Yeah.
So my dad was like, come with me to the bank now. I'm like, what's going on? To me, I'm just a kid coming out of school, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go to the bank and then tell the guy, why do I have to come to the bank every 6 months to do this and that? I'm like, oh, okay. الوالد يقول إنه ليش لازم. So then the banker's like, whoa, what's happening? Who's this? Who are you? What's this translation?
These American myths, this
and then
young
I'm
American
like,
kids speaking fluent
right.
Arabic.
And I'm like, oh, this is my dad. My dad doesn't speak Arabic. I'm his son. I'm translating. And then the banker's like, oh, okay, nice. So don't worry, we'll figure it out. And then they fix it. I'm happy because I'm out of school. My dad is kind of like, gosh, I'm trying to learn Arabic, but it's so difficult because it's not fusha.
Yeah.
You know, so
it
it's
was one of his
difficult.
goals to come here and learn Arabic too. As
Right.
well.
Even though my dad went to classes, he tried. You know, my dad knows more nahwa and sarf than I do.
MashaAllah.
But when it comes to like talking, he's better now than before. Him.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Tell me about your community here in Saudi Arabia. Who do you hang out with?
Whoa. So, a little bit of everybody, man.
Yeah.
Like, I have my Saudi friends that I kind of, bring them along with a couple of Westerners. I have my Westerner friends that I kind of make them meet other Westerners. It's just like a melting pot. Riyadh is like the melting pot now. And I love that. Because
so Riyadh is like now, it's a very mixed, it's
right,
really
right.
diverse
and
cultures. Yeah.
It's cool because you don't get to live that day twice. There's always something new to do, right?
Yeah.
So on the weekends, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This weekend I'm going to be with Rick and Jimmy. We're going to do some stuff in the desert. We might do some buggies, have some fun, make some Texas-style barbecue. And I'll invite like Saud and Ali and Ahmed, come see how Americans enjoy the desert, you know?
Yeah.
And some weekends it's the other way around. Hey guys.
You go camping in the desert.
Yeah.
تخيمون يعني كذا.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
And some other times the other way around. I invite my Western friends like, hey, my Saudi Arab friends are having this event or cookout or whatever. Come along, and they do. So I like bringing people together. That's one thing that I like doing, and I do that because when I came to Riyadh, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these people, the expats that come here, don't know much about what's happening or the people, or like they have a culture shock, right? So I try to like, hey, don't worry, like step by step.
Yeah.
And what's cool is, the results of that, the interactions and the questions, right?
Well,
from both sides. Like I'll have my Saudi friends ask him, اسأله. I'm like, you can ask me. To them, I'm not American. I'm their other Saudi friend that doesn't have the Saudi nationality, right? Yeah. Ask your friend. So back home, like, how do you do this and that? So I ask my friend and then I translate. Or some of them know English, right? And then sometimes my Westerner friends would say, so, Flood, could you ask Ali if it's possible to talk about camel's milk? Like, how's that work? So I'm like, Ali, علم عن حليب النياق والأمور هذه. So he tries to explain it. So you see like the wow faces, and to me, in the middle, just looking at both of them, it makes me really happy. Really happy. Just bringing cultures and people together is something that I really love doing. And by the way, that brings up what I did last Ramadan. Last Ramadan, I did a show about Westerners in the kingdom. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you saw it or not.
I saw it, man.
Yeah? You liked it?
I was a fan.
Really?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I saw 3 or 4 episodes on Snapchat. You're bringing Westerns. You're, trying to, let's say, orient them more also about the kingdom as well.
And what's cool, 90% of these people, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you just approach them? Hey man, you want to do a
No, so the
what
idea
happened?
came literally the night of the first day of Ramadan.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, in terms of content, how can I make something, different,
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? There's a gap between, the Westerners that live here and the locals.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, some of these people have really interesting stories that I don't even know. I know my dad has a cool story. So imagine about the thousands of people here. So I started doing my research, connecting, and I have like a WhatsApp group, that has a lot of Westerners. I was like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing. Who wants to join? And then we had like a screening of who has like the best 30 stories. And it was cool meeting a lot of people, learning from some people. And what's crazy is that I've met people that been here for 30, 40 years and getting their interactions about how Saudi was 40 years ago and today, to me, is like, man, this story should be in a museum or something.
Yeah.
So the episodes were amazing.
Let me ask you something, bro. Like, I mean, I met many Westerns, right? Like, I'm a person who grew up also in the States as well.
Oh, okay.
So I lived here in the kingdom, of course, as well. And it is something that I see a lot from people who live here for a while, is that they speak, they become very much attached in a way to the kingdom, right? They're like, yeah, it's a bit different. It's different, with, why do you think is that? What is that, do you think?
See, Saudi Arabia offers something that I don't see other countries offer.
Yeah.
And maybe there is out there, but I didn't experience it elsewhere. The perfect balance of life and whatever else comes with it. So if you're religious, you're looking for that aspect, hey, you're in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Mecca, Medina, if you're looking to have fun, you got it. You want to make money, you got it. You want to connect with people. Saudis are one of the most easy people to get to know, right?
Yeah.
You just got to break that ice a little bit and you're in,
Yeah.
and it just has that balance,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. Like, it's really crazy. You can't put a definition to it, right? I just feel like Saudi has the perfect balance. Like, even when I go abroad, travel, vacation, it's crazy. I'm on vacation. I'm counting the days to come to Riyadh. And I tell my friends, and they're like, bro, we feel the same as Saudis.
Wow.
When we leave Riyadh or go anywhere from the kingdom, abroad, we're just like, yeah, a week or two, fine, we're having fun, but now it's time to go back home. I've never felt that anywhere in the world. And if anybody in the viewers knows why we're feeling that, please tell us.
Please let
tell
us know.
us.
What is the
I have
secret?
no idea why, but it's like a magnet.
Yeah.
This is home. This is literally home.
And there is everything here now, right? Like, you want to watch a big boxing match? You got Tyson Fury, Anthony
There's
Joshua,
one coming up.
Francis Ngannou. There's huge ones coming up.
And here's the thing, talking about the boxing match, I'm glad, because I'm a big boxing fan.
Likewise.
What is happening in terms of entertainment?
Yeah.
What Turki Al Sheikh is doing, man, you get a round of applause. Because you see, in boxing, there's different championships, right?
Yeah,
there's different, world champion, world champion in this organization. There's like 4 or 5, I'm not sure, there's 4 or 5 organizations.
Yeah.
And you, as Waleed, you would say, I'm the world champion, heavyweight world champion.
WCB, WBA.
Right. I come in, my championship, I'm like, no, I'm the world champion.
Yeah.
So what the Ministry of Entertainment has done is they brought 2 of the largest people in the industry from different championships.
Exactly.
And putting them in one fight. This has never happened since, I think, the time of Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. I'm not sure, one of them. Don't quote me on that. I love boxing. I don't watch it much, but I love the actual fact of boxing.
Obviously, yeah.
And like, these things are nuts.
Absolutely.
And it's
That's
making
crazy.
people on social media worldwide, like, why are the Saudis doing that?
Exactly.
Like, you guys are doing things that are dreams for people from generations and generations. So that tells you, when we start something, even though we're late, we're doing it the right way for the world to see.
True.
Yep.
I appreciate that. You know, you're definitely one of us, Mohammed, and appreciate you, man. Exactly, man. I mean, I could speak hours about boxing. If you're gonna put me there, I'm just gonna continue.
Bro, it's not even about boxing. See, I'm getting excited now.
It's
like, you know the new law for the new what is it called? The new iqama thing.
Yeah.
The residency.
Yeah, the residency.
Now there's like 5-6 different types of iqamas. You can get an investor iqama. You can get, if you own a house, property, you're getting iqama. If you have a talent, you're getting iqama. So the kingdom is basically telling you, it's not what we have. Show us what you could add of a value to us, and we will help you. Right? Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people around the world, they don't know about these programs. That's my only issue, is that we need more English content. Mm-hmm. We need more awareness when it comes to the amazing services that the kingdom offers. Right? Like, I tell my Western friends, inside or out, have you heard about the new iqama thing? Yeah. Bro, you're already an investor. You can apply to this.
Exactly.
Oh, you're already...
It takes minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes to get
like, you're into... you're like a really amazing surgeon, blah, blah, blah. Apply, you might get it. You pay once, and then you get 5 years iqama, and then after that, you get it for life.
True.
What country does that? Mm-hmm. What country does that?
True.
Like, I'll be one of the people applying. That's for sure. Because I just read about it like 2 weeks ago, so I'm excited about it.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
I mean, the kingdom has, offered coming here now. It's easier than ever, right?
Yeah.
As you said, you just gotta know what you want here, whether it was as a tourist, investor, etc. And there's so much things going on here, right? I mean, you got like, as you said, in sports, you got the biggest games. Right. In boxing, you got the biggest fights. Right. Concerts, you got the biggest names. When you see that, when you see Kanye West here, when you see Conor McGregor here, when you see Cristiano Ronaldo here, when you see all these great big name celebrities, you're like, I see them in Vegas, New York, London, every once in a while. Right. Now in one season, you can see them easily performing. Right. What comes into your mind?
I feel like you get to the point where you're numb by it, because you're not sure what to expect next.
Yeah.
Because by every other season, they're doing it bigger. So I'm now thinking, what's going to happen next year? Mm-hmm. At the same time, look at the new boulevard. True. Like, back in the days, I feel like people were like, okay, we come to Riyadh, we get, our work done, we leave. Now, there's actually things to do.
They're chilling.
There's actually programs. And here's the thing. What I really love seeing from Saudis is people that have a business mindset. Mm-hmm. They know where the country's going. People now are like, there's opportunities here, right? So they know where their country's going. So they're coming up with businesses that funnel and fund what the country's going towards. So with this season, a lot of companies started doing valet services. A lot of companies started doing catering. A lot of companies started doing tours around the kingdom. A lot of companies, and these are from our, men and women out there, actually getting into the business mindset and the business realm. And I love that. Yeah. And it opens up opportunities for everybody.
Let me ask you, Mohammed, about what are the differences that you think between, here? I mean, a lot of people would say, oh, well, there's this and then there's safety. I mean, obviously you can get business opportunities in the States, right?
Right.
They're one of the biggest economies too in the world.
Right. You can get work anywhere.
In the UK, But why is here different? Like, what is so unique about?
Because it's new.
Saudi?
It's new, and when you're on board in the beginning, you're one of the people that's going to make it. And that takes us back to our 2030 vision. We're closer to 2030 than 2017. If you do the calculation, I know it's freaky.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the people I know now that go they have their job 9 to 5. People are not into their 9 to 5s anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to their job to fund their business. So that shows you the economy, is cherishing in terms of, my job is not the only income.
Yeah.
There's things out there.
Exactly.
I feel like before it was for the people that either came from a wealthy background or generational wealth, but now you could be anyone and start something and be IPO in the next 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
Right? And I've seen it.
Absolutely.
I came to Riyadh in 2020. I met a couple of people. Hi, bye. Now they don't even answer the phone. They're too busy making money.
Absolutely.
And good for them.
Good for
you know?
them, true.
So for the people outside of Saudi, you know, with how smart the government is bringing all the companies here. If you want to work with us, you got to have headquarters here. There's people that know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And look at all these people around the world coming here. And sorry to say, like it or not, this is how we roll. You know, and it's working.
Yeah.
You know, you got the Niyum project, you got Murabba project,
Red Sea
Gadiya
Global
project,
Company,
Red Sea project.
We can
Bro,
go.
there's like 30 of them.
Yep, true.
And what's exciting is the next generation is set. My only concern is, are they going to play soccer in the street or not?
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah, man.
That's a big one, my man. Let me also, Mohammed, I mean, let me speak about you also as well. You know, what you've been doing here in the kingdom. You know, lately, I've been seeing you on Snap. Popular guy, lovable, likable guy. I mean, I met you personally, you know. Cool guy, down to earth, you know.
I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, I'll definitely hang out with you.
Yeah.
I'll definitely hang out with you,
Yeah.
you know. Who did you meet? What did you see? And how did life change for you after Snapchat, right? After, I don't want to say Snapchat, I don't want to.
Social media in general.
Social media, let me just say social media. Because you're on different platforms.
Yeah. See, I would lie if I didn't say that social media helped me in life.
Yeah.
When I first started social media back in college, my parents didn't know.
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. Also, and who are your viewers? Are they only local in the kingdom?
Yeah,
or do you get like views also in the States?
Cool. I like that question.
Yeah.
So when I first started social media, it was back in college, and my parents didn't know.
Yeah.
And one time at work, my dad was approached by a colleague, and he's like, "Hey, I watched your son." Watching my son? What do you mean? My son is in the States. He's like, yeah. I watch his videos. Videos? My son is there to study. My son is a disciplined, good student. And then he's like, no, look. And it was like one of my videos. So my dad FaceTimed me. He's like, Salam alaikum. Salam, how you doing? So you're making videos, huh? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, focus on school. My mom's like, please focus on school. Because before going to school, I wanted...
Where do you post it on YouTube?
It was YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, I was like, dang, they know. You know, like they know about my media, whatever. So every now and then I would get focused on school. I'm like, Mom, I'm focusing on school. Because I always wanted to be a soccer player, right?
Yeah.
And then I started making videos. And then in the early, like 2014, 2015, people started like making money off of it. Like, you can make money off of this? So I started...
Chichen?
Yeah. So I studied corporate finance. I hate numbers, but I like making money, if that makes any sense. I know how to calculate how to make money, but I hate the process of doing it.
Everybody loves
right?
making money, yeah.
So I was like, how can he make this money? So I started learning from like Casey Neistat. I started watching a couple of people and influencers, and I was like, you know what? I have something interesting. I can be the white kid that speaks Arabic in America. I can have the Americans and I can have the Arabs in America.
Yeah.
So, in certain things that Americans don't know about, I'll do Arabic, and the other way around. And then I felt like I'm lost. I don't have an identity, right? People don't know who I am. So then I started doing like, how is it being as a college student in America? Right? And it just kept testing and testing and testing. And then it got to the point where people would watch me for me. And like I used to get some comments, right? I won't post because I would overthink it. And people will say, just do whatever. Wash your car. I'm like, you want to see me wash my car?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's so cool. And I was like, okay. So I started doing that lifestyle kind of thing. And then I started niching more and more and more as I get. And then when I came to Saudi, in the States, it's not like something new, being like a famous celebrity on social media, even though I hate these words. So I came to Saudi, and again, remember, I don't know anybody in Riyadh.
Yeah.
But when I used to meet them, they wouldn't say, "Give me your number." عندك snap? I'm like, "Yeah, just look up the American flag." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Cause I'm verified." They're like, "Whoa, you're verified." I didn't know that it was such a big deal here.
It's a big deal, huh?
Yeah. And then I started meeting other influencers, you know, and going and getting invited to all these places. And I was like, oh, people here really take this seriously. So you need the car, you need the whip, you need the right attire.
Yeah.
You need the lifestyle. I hated those days because
But
it wasn't me.
You mean Riyadh?
Yeah, like it was so tough because these people, you know, coming, mashallah, from good families. I just came from the States. I'm just trying to survive and start living. And these people were like already, like, mashallah, you know, like the G-class, this. Like, how is he 24 with a G-class? How does that work? I didn't know that people made that much money here. So then I promised myself, inshallah, when I get to that point, I will be the smarter person in the room and I'll invest my money, right? So I started making money from social media and, you know, coming back from a corporate finance degree, I analyzed everything. So I knew why certain people would make more and less and how would I sell and how could I convey people. And then I got to the point where I'm a standard. I can't just sell anything. And yeah, man, it was just an experience ever since, and it's really cool.
How would you describe yourself now? Social media influencer or business
Gosh,
guy?
I hate that word. No, when I introduce myself, like I always ask people that I don't know, if you're in the back seat of an Uber, and the Uber driver asks you, "So who are you? Can you tell me a little bit about myself?" I would say, "Oh, I just work in a company."
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm the type of person that even in my social media, people don't know much. They just see what I put out. I'm a private person. I don't like people knowing where I live. I don't like people knowing what car I drive. I drive different cars, so they think they're all rental. And it's just, I think of the future.
Yeah.
Like when I get married, when I have kids, I don't want people, no offense to other influencers, but I don't want people to know my, you know, my daily life routine, right? But yeah, I just tell people I'm a businessman. You know, I do a couple of things here in the States, and
Mohammed, why did you, I mean, mashallah, you used your social media platform also to sometimes I saw it personally, whether it was on your TikTok or Snapchat, you know, you're really trying to, you know, I'm not going to say promote what's going on here in the kingdom, but correct, let's say, information also. Sometimes you're being portrayed in a way and you're like, nope. And you also sometimes be like, you know, even when you spoke about food, I remember once, you were like, you know, tell me about what's the Saudi food and then what's the American food, pizza, no, that's Italian. And other, man, I mean, that is pretty cool. I mean, I love doing it. You're very good at it, by the way. You know, I think I commend you on that also. But, you know, what, let's say, motivated you to go there?
See, to me, I look at it as my duty towards the country that gave me everything, right? And at the same time, I feel like you as a human being, if you have a certain amount of knowledge and you're not sharing it with people, like, why did you obtain that knowledge in the first place? Like, are you selfish with knowledge, right? So I feel like when I see something, it makes me feel weird, right? Like when I see someone talking about sparkling water and why sparkling water is bad, I'm like, no, it's not. How do you know? Because one day in a boring night, I looked it up, and it's not bad. So imagine when it comes to someone talking about Saudi Arabia in a negative way, it drives me nuts. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, and then I go to their level. I don't try to be the smart man in the room, even though you're supposed to. Because some people, you got to deal with them, you know, and put yourself in their shoes. So I like, you know, going on my Snap, on my Twitter. And you see me sometimes, I throw certain things out there to see how people interact and what they say. And I'm trying to get that closed mindset to open up.
As well. Let me go to life now for you. You know, life after. You know, now you're Mohammed Flood. You're not just an American, as you said. You know, back in school, you were the special. You already felt that special.
Right.
Now you're Mohammed Flood. You know, you got followers. You're known. A lot of people know your story here. That's
Right.
why I wasn't asking much about it, because probably a lot of people do already know your
Right,
story
right.
here. You know, and what about life now? Also, how's it going for you? And what would you like to happen in the future?
Yeah, that's
Stay
my.
in the kingdom, you know, do more things. What would you like to do for
See,
in that part?
I feel like I'm in a spot in life where I'm having the balance of I'm learning as I go, and at the same time I'm really focusing on business. Yeah, social media is cool, but at the same time I'm looking for assets, right? And I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, you know, I need to get settled. I need to build something. I'm always you know when you read books
Yeah.
and you feel like there's only like 2 pages that make sense and everything else is like, man, I wasted my time, and that's why they made audiobooks. I feel like I'm the type of person that has so much information, but I don't want to show it off to people because I don't want them to think that, oh, Mr. I know it all. But at the same time, I feel like with what I know and what I'm living currently, I want to be the person that, with Allah's greatness, that I end up having generational
Inshallah.
wealth
Inshallah.
for the kids that will be coming. So my question every day is how?
Yeah.
How? Is it with the businesses that I'm running now? Is it somewhere else? Is it with media? Is it with a show that I'm working on? Is it? So that reminder is healthy, but at the same time, it's still a bit toxic. You know, people always look for quick wins, right?
It depends, all right? Like, it depends on the mindset. If you ask me, you know, some people get stressed. You know, be like, no, I just want to have a relaxed, cool life.
No, I'm stressed.
A lot of people do get stressed from thinking about, you know, that. Others, no, just enjoy it. You know, I mean,
Yeah, you see, I enjoy it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I feel like I want to get there now.
yeah,
You know, I feel like we have the assets, we have the means, we have the energy. We're young.
yeah,
I don't want to get
The
to the
opportunity,
point.
for
Yeah,
sure.
the opportunity. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to the point where, like, dang it, why didn't I do that before?
yeah.
You know, and
Like,
Yeah.
I remember a friend once told me, right, he was like, you know, it takes 5 years for overnight to actually happen. You know, so, and you're a very young man, I mean, can I say your age?
no, please
No?
not.
He's very young.
I'm not young.
He's
guys.
not young, but he's young.
We're like 6-7 years difference. We're not young. If I'm young, you're young.
I'm young, man. What are you
Yeah,
talking
we're
about?
both
I'm young. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and you're already accomplished. So yeah, you would definitely describe yourself as.
Yeah, I'm hard on myself. That's
Yeah,
one thing.
yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm not pleased
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's normal. These are, you know, this is actually it's kind of good. It's kind of good, but you know, I think it will get better. You know,
Right.
as you grow.
Right.
Let me ask you, Muhammad, also too about
We need more matcha.
more matcha.
That's for sure.
Let me ask you, bro, about, you know, before I conclude this, because what the viewers are probably like watching right now.
Oh, right,
saying,
right.
You know, yeah.
See, I have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So I have like an amazing split of 65% Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman. However, the remaining is like Europe and States. That's why my content has shifted in the past 6 months to English, because 35 is a huge number. I don't want to say how many followers I have on Snapchat, because
Yeah.
everybody, you know, has that thing to it. But
Yeah.
35 is a huge number,
Yeah.
like hundreds of thousands of people.
So you got 65% from the Gulf, and the other 35% is from Europe watching.
Yeah,
you.
Europe, America, like UK. So I'm like, whoa, 35 is a huge number.
Yeah.
So I'm working, you know, with my team now on how can we have like a 50-50 split. And one thing that we've noticed, that youngsters in Saudi actually know English more than the people in their 30s or mid 30s. So you got these 18 to 26 They don't even need the translation.
Yeah.
Because that's what takes time. You know, we
Yeah.
translate the team, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's amazing because I feel like I'm like one of, or maybe the only creator on certain platforms that makes content in Saudi Arabia in English. That it's like lifestyle, you know, talking about the kingdom,
It's
going
true.
out, coming out, you know. And it's cool because we get the interactions of people saying, whoa, where is that? I'm like, oh, Jimmy. Oh, he must not be from here. Like, hey, this is Riyadh, this is this. And then for the locals, like, what do you mean? We know this place. I'm like, guys, I'm answering Jimmy. You know, and then
Jimmy,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
That's
I'll get an
it, yeah.
email 2 weeks later. Hey, this is Jimmy. We spoke on Snapchat. I'm actually here. Can you help me, like, have a schedule?
Really?
And what I'll do, remember talking about businesses, I'll connect them to my friends, my Saudi friends that have businesses, you know, shout out to Nimshi, you know, and, you know, so, yeah, it's an amazing process, you know, and to me, I'm just making content.
I know,
You
I
know?
know. And do you know why I know?
Why?
Because I watch Mohammed Flood.
Right. You know about that, huh? That drove people crazy. For people that don't know what he's talking about, I was one of the people that I didn't get what TikTok is all about,
Yeah.
right? People were like dancing, doing their thing, and I'm like, think about it. It's a new platform. You're late. You don't have to like it. Just get followers and views in any way possible. Literally, I studied it for 2 weeks, and then that technique came, and in 3 months, I gained like 600,000 followers. You know? Yeah. And then some of these videos, like 10 million, 12 million, 18 million. I don't think I have a video under 1 million.
Wow.
In all of my videos. And I was like, you know what? I'm really good at this social media stuff, you know? And it's because people think it's easy in terms of outcome. Guys, I spend nights thinking. I know other influencers are blessed. They just pull out the phone. They have companies running their profiles. Like, there are certain things some people help me, but 99% of it is just me. Yep.
Mohammed, who would you like to see here or meet in Saudi Arabia? Like, I mean, you've been, you got a good platform, right? You're known, so this takes you places.
Anybody?
Who do you want to see? Who do you want to meet, see?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Crown Prince Mohammed Salman.
Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Adil Jubair.
You never saw them in person?
Like, yeah, 50 meters away in cameras from the TVs. Yeah, but, you know.
Did you see, by the way, also Al Jubair's interview? I think it was regarding oil crisis or something. And I saw a lot of praise and commands on, you know, on the way he speaks and he spoke.
Man,
this guy's been
Adil-
idolized overseas.
Yeah, Adil Jubair is one of those people that I call him the angel.
Yeah.
Because no matter what happens or who talks about what about Saudi, this man is the angel. To me, I sometimes look up his videos to reply to certain people because I don't know exactly what to say because certain things are like political or so when I find a video of him answering my question, I'm like, may God bless you. Like, this guy is blessed with a gift of answering others.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
So Adil Jubair is one of the people, like, MashaAllah, he's in the right spot. May Allah bless him.
I mean, so you saw Al Jubair 50 meters away, but what about the conference? You ever saw him in real life?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay.
I would have remembered.
You would have remembered for sure, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, for sure.
Definitely Turkey Al Sheikh.
You saw him.
Far distance, you know, we go to the games,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boxing matches.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but like, I don't want to see these people.
I
But
want
like,
to actually talk. You want to
yeah,
talk.
like, I don't want to see these people. And
What
just-
would you say? Let's say you met the Crown Prince. What would you say to him?
That's a really deep question.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't say much because I know his time is very valuable. And I know, like, I would be just blessed to see him right there and shake his hand. But at the same time, I feel like I wish I could tell him, you don't have an idea of how much I don't want to give my American passport to get a Saudi passport. Like, literally. Like, I might give him a poem or something. Literally. And you might be like, why? So many reasons. So many reasons. And I feel like so many things I want to do for the kingdom, and being an American stops me from doing that. You know? And it's not something bad, but you know me, I'm a, you know, what's the word? I'm a, you know, like I get obsessed when I want to get towards something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a perfectionist. That's what I was looking for. So there's certain things I want to do, and they're like, nah, you got to be Saudi to do that. Dang. I'm like, okay, fine. Put a Saudi guy there. I'll train him. I'll help him. But please make it work. You know? And I feel like that's one of my dreams, to be honest, thinking about it. Like,
to be a Saudi national.
To be a Saudi, like literally, that's one of my dreams. Like, yeah, the Iqama thing is cool, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, nah.
Was it cool? Was it like something from previously, or was it recently? They're like, you know what?
Yeah. It's a cool story. My dad has an article in 2001, 2002, with Uqav newspaper. Oh, no. Haya newspaper, if I'm not mistaken. And they did an interview with my dad. I was a kid back then. And they asked him about the Saudi nationality, you know, and he said, most definitely, if it was something that, so this is like generational. You know, it's through our parents, they put it in us, you know, this country is all we see. So I would never, ever pass the opportunity. If there's like a criteria or an entity or somewhere that I need to apply, or please let me know, because I'll do it. You know, and believe me, like I bet I have all the criteria. But I'm really also happy for all the people that are getting the Saudi nationality, you know, for any reason. Like this shows you that, you know, the country's actually going towards giving the nationality to people that deserve it. So I'm really hoping one day, you never know if Allah has this in His plan, for me to be one of those people.
Inshallah.
Or my dad.
Inshallah.
You know, it doesn't matter who it is, but man, if that day comes by, I don't know what will happen. Khalas, I'm done. Life is good.
You know the Saudi national anthem already, right?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, man. That's the only anthem I know. You know, like I know, like Sari'i lil Majd wal Aliya. I don't know the American anthem. No offense to Americans, but I just don't know it. You know, and you know, it's people don't get it, man. Like we've been talking for what, an hour now, and I don't expect them to get it. It's okay, guys. You don't have to get it. This is my life, my personality, my upbringing, my history, my upcoming future. So it's okay. You don't have to, you know, like, I don't care if you agree, disagree. This is my life. I'm having fun. I love this country. My family's blessed. I'm blessed. You know, hopefully our future is all blessed. But for everybody listening, like, this is what it is, man. This is the truth, the only truth, and the truth is the only thing you're hearing here. So,
appreciate it.
Yeah, God bless everybody. And
Ameen.
Yeah.
Ameen.
Cool questions, man.
Oh, man.
Cool questions.
We trying, bro.
Yeah.
We trying. You know, I would love to go on and on and on and on and on with you. I'm sure we'll do other cool things together too as well.
For sure, man. For
this
sure.
Podcast. It was an honor to have you on the first podcast.
My pleasure. Likewise.
You know, I think you're a very real guy in general. Speak. I think you talk from the heart.
Yeah,
you know,
man. I mean,
you're just straight.
There's no time to hide anything nowadays, right?
Absolutely. Appreciate all the love and you know, grateful that I see you have for the kingdom. And please give a big salam to Dad.
I will.
Inshallah. Do you know the meaning of the word samh?
Samh, yeah.
Samh. Hey, you said it better than me. Hey. You know?
سمح هذه نبتة في الحسن.
Yeah, exactly. So God bless him. Allah yahfadhak, and appreciate you again.
No problem.
And anything else you want to say before we say goodbye to the viewers?
Nah, man, I really appreciate it being the first first guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I really applaud you, man, like for what you're doing. Amazing show. Right? And this is the next big thing, man.
You gotta have the energy with it.
Right? It's either or you know. But you know, you're doing great things.
Appreciate it.
You know, I'm really proud of what you're doing, and this joint will hit.
My man.
I know it will hit.
Thank you so much.
All right, man.
That was Mohammed Flood, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just calling him a businessman, you know, not a
Right,
social media
right,
influencer.
businessman.
No, he's a businessman. You know, he's a guy who wants to make it. So, kudos to that, and best of luck in it.
Appreciate it, man.
Take care.